on that Zoom call, you can do both with no issues whatsoever. And as someone who's done that, and I think my wife probably does too, I encourage you to invest in that infrastructure. All right, game number 3 about to get underway.
And Kiyoon.
Yeah, let's
Kiyoon with the Senna Rod just to start. Obviously, Rod being able to build into so many different great early game items.
Oh.
Yeah, Morello, Rageblade, you know, Arcs. Just this is, if you can't get this, you want to be going for Belt as well. And just a great start. Senna can be going into so many things as well, so many comps, whether you want to go Cannoneer, or if, yeah, there's just so many different things that you can go with. Just this is one champ right here.
Gotcha. So your Carousel 1 default is hilt or belt, or do you look for the unit, or do you look for the item? What's your strategy going into a first?
So actually, whenever I play a new set, I kind of don't want to specifically pick a specific champ or item. I kind of like to learn. That's how I kind of like learn the different comps and everything.
Okay.
But yeah, if I'm a bit more advanced into the game, I want to go for items that can allow me to build into anything. You don't ever really want to go for the champ because, you know, the first set you have, you can choose from 5 different champs, and that right there, your store is so much more important than going for the carousel for your champs. But yeah, you want to go into an item that can easily build into other items for that early comp aggression.
All right, let's take a look as we continue. We're up in the third now, 1-4, and really, this is about just deciding. It seems like, are you going for the win streak, or are you going for, or are you going to have to accept loss streak to sort of start this?
It depends on what you want. It depends, like, you know, if you get like a really good comp, then yeah, you're going to level up to level 4 early, and that way you're going to go for the win streak. But if you just don't have that great of a comp from the early game, going for that loss streak is pretty good. And there's some players out there that can go for the loss streak and still not lose too much HP and be pretty smart with it. Ooh, we got an AFK. We got to see that earlier on from Frodan, and it didn't really work too well in his favor. But gonna be excited to see if Kiyoon, our top player right now, is gonna be going for it. And it looks like they are thinking about it.
Let's go. Yeah, since he already has the set 2 right now and the complete Dragonmancers on board, feels a bit more comfortable with leaving that one be. I was wondering if he was going to decide to pre-level at this point. Some that will do when they are 2 and 6 on the XP, they'll pre-level so that they can start to get those higher units on the next one. But right now, locking himself down. No ability to do so, but that's A-okay. He's got a big unit in the front, and in these early stages, the tankier units are typically going to win out over the damage expending ones when you've got that 2-star.
Kiyoon did opt up going for AFK and even left Sona off the board so that there isn't a chance that he's going to be winning these games. So he looks like he's going to be going for that loss streak. And now we're going to be taking a quick look at Souless versus Robin. Robin going for that early trainer with the Nomzy, and it looks like Souless is going to be going for a Jade Revel build. Actually, it looks like he's just kind of like grabbing whatever he can right now.
Yeah, make sure he throws in whatever it may be. I want to see a 3-star Nomzy. I know that, or not 3-star, 3 synergized Nomzy rather, because it is fun. It's one of the changes that they made where they nerfed the 2 and then they buffed the 3, so you get 200% damage, and it's just fun. But a lot of times people don't opt for it because they do have such differing synergies that they're usually using Nomzy as just that additional splash to support what other synergies you're trying to prioritize.
Yeah, if you get Mage, you might be able to build into it. You know, you got the Nami there with the synergy of Lulu and Heimerdinger, and then you just throw the third one on there. Tristana, hopefully, you know, doesn't actually be too disconnected from the rest of it. But I just love watching this right now. Obviously, 6 damage already done to our AFK player, but not going to be too just like, you know, disruptive.
Yeah, a handful of units, and early on is when you want to get that AFK. That 20 gold that you receive on those early stages just feels even that much more potent, whether you decide to suddenly level up. Some will use that to accelerate that, and then as soon as you have that unit advantage over others, then that's a nice way to stabilize regardless of your synergies, or if you are looking for some of the lower costs, you can roll into those, but not a lot of compositions now that opt to do that rolling early unless you're using it to stabilize with a 2-cost
actually
unit.
good if I was playing around Ezreal.
Looks like Robin's going to be prioritizing some bruisers here.
But
just
the beefy boys.
Them beefy boys. And
I love the beefy boys.
who doesn't, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beefy boy.
Especially when you get that orange on deck, just so good.
Mm-hmm.
As fuck.
Ring that horn.
Got 2 Nomsies, and we got Prestivent going for the Rage Blades, and of course, Tom Kinch everywhere. It doesn't matter what the rest of the build is, Tom Kinch is going to be there because he just offers so much tankiness, and then offers an opportunity for you to add, like, just take away a unit from the board. Nomsy, though, doing a pretty good job adding some damage, but it is not, unfortunately, going to be enough, especially not with Set already at 2-star, and then Shin giving you that great dodge.
And then once they get to the back, those little Yordles go squish. Even though we don't have the Yordle synergy here, they are still technically Yordles.
I still think of Yordles.
Yeah.
Oh God, what was the ultimate Yordle you would get if you had 6 Yordles?
Vagar.
Yes, I loved Vagar.
Yup. When you actually got to star him and everything, it was so good. And the rain across the entire board was extremely rewarding.
King Yordle.
I think I abused Yordles for my diamond push too.
You're gonna be Yordle Pete.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I definitely took advantage of that comp for a bit of time, but who didn't?
It reminds me of like White Weenie and Magic back in the day. It was like you'd see somebody show up at the event with it, you're like, oh, I have to deal with it.
There we go. Kiyoon with his AFK now with 4 interest for his econ. This is going to be so good for him. And it looks like he's going to be going 3 Jade with the Gnar, trading out Senna right there. But possibly going to be holding on to the items, going to be selling them. It looks like actually just going to be holding on to them right now. Another Jade with the Taric. But once you have Karma and Gnar, you don't really need Taric up there.
Extremely transferable items still remaining on the bench, but enough tankiness indeed. You'll get the transformation from that Gnar. Eric moving on up, or Set rather right now, just able to hit quite effectively. Soju versus Kiyoon on this one.
Interesting. The Set, not the best character, but obviously you can trade them off really easily if you want. And yeah, just between the 2 cannons, it's just going to be so much damage onto Kiyoon right there. Prestivent having a great start and actually opting out for the Tiny Tactician, grabbing the 30 HP. And the only thing that I don't like about it, unless you're doing a great job and you're winning anyway, and you have that win streak in the early game, is that you're never going to get that prioritized carousel.
Yeah, you're definitely just increasing that resource of HP, where right now he's win streaking. So that means that he'll have a very strong buffer later on. A lot of times you commonly use it in a case where, hey, I have this, I'm lose streaking, I'm just going to continually sacrifice my HP to be able to build up that econ. And just having that variability by increasing a resource is basically all you're doing at this point.
But my goodness, yeah, the Tactician doing a really good job right now. Or not even the Tactician, but Prestivent doing a good job with that, not taking any damage just yet. But who's it going to be between Milk Guy and Souless with the streak? Who is going to go down? And it's going to be, I don't know. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. It's still going on.
And the final moments, because yeah, look at some of this early itemization. Just that BT being held onto the Skarner, and a nice hit. Karma surviving through and through. So a small hit in the end onto Milk. While it's only 2 HP lost, it does destroy his streak. Never feels great when you've been focusing on that win streak and you go against somebody else that's doing exactly the same, and you think, oh, one of us is going to get screwed.
Especially when it's that close, too, right? Like, it could have gone either way at the end there. I like that pickup on Prestivent. I feel like he is going to have a very... The 3 rounds are going to be hard on him, I think, as he fishes for a few new upgrades, and I think it might be nice to have that.
Oh, yeah.
Souless, so far sitting in, let me double check the scores for you at home. Just as a reminder, as you watch, we're playing 6 rounds today. Robin and Kiyoon are tied in first at 13. Souless, Prestivent, and Spencer are at 10. Soju at 8. Milk and Frodan at 4. And to be blunt, every round's going to count, because you get 8 for first, but you only get 1 for last. So at the end of the day, if you can't, those guys who have 4 points right now are going to have to start averaging 4th or higher if they want to be in the route to go the distance and get to Twitch.
2-star Lee Sin to start. You have the Ionic Spark onto Taric. And then Brom's just chilling there. He's happy. He's having fun, get that bit of Guardian and he did go for the Guardian augment as well. So I guess that is a great choice to go for Braum there. Just it's such a silly comp to see.
Yeah, little Braum sometimes doesn't get a lot of love this set, despite overall usually just a standard good old tanky unit, and indexing into the Guardian early, you don't always see a lot commit to it, but maybe this will be an Ida Sling angle later on if he wants to continue down that line. And right now, having that strength on the early end is proving pretty effective against Prestivent's comp that has yet to lose, now taking the first hit.
That blast from Karma, though, is such a great job there. And Prestivent, yep, finally taking a little bit of damage, but still 24 HP ahead of Souless there. Souless going to be going away from Jade and going to be going for that nice Thieves Glove there. Yep, that makes sense. Lee Sin, and look at that beautiful Thieves Glove build for the first round that he grabs it. Morello, and going to be grabbing that extra little tank character, champion, whatever you would call it.
Giving him a little ZZ route with a little buggy coming on out.
Little buggy, is that its name, Buggy?
I don't know. Does anyone? I'm actually trying to think. Is there a name for this thing, ZZ Rot? There's also a debate on if it's ZZ Rot or Zerat.
Zerat? Oh.
And I've asked multiple people that have been around for as long as the item's been around too, like what is the official pronunciation, and I have actually gotten mixed results. So.
The Void Spawn. That does make sense. Void Spawn.
Void Spawn. Oh yeah, from the Void and all of that. Yeah.
Well, because it spawns from a void, you know.
Yeah, the little. Yeah.
Oh, we got our 3 trader now for that extra feeding of Nomsy, and an Ornn for Robin too. Having a lot of setup for some late game comp here. You can see even the Sona on the bench right now.
Well, let's go 3-star Nomsy, even if they don't end up sticking with it through and through. Always nice to see. In the meantime, right now, all them little Yordles we've been seeing getting beat up, continuing to do so. Robin losing some HP, now down to 101, but with the tiny Titans, he's still got 2 very healthy people at the top, 124 and 101, and then 100 for Souless, who is yet to be defeated.
And they just picked up a Silas. Possibly going to be trading out one of their other bruisers for it. I'm going to be imagining that it's going to be the Skarner there. And yep, going to be trading that out, putting Sunfires back onto the Silas there. Silas, again, my favorite champ in the game.
Silas is great. Very much kind of filling that spot that Vex did of last set, where you have that mage that can be on the front line using shielding to pull through and through, because even if you're not going the mage way, mages in general tend to want to have at least 1 or 2 that are going to have that frontline capability. Right now, though, frontline getting a little blasted on down, allowing not much longer for this world, and then the hook into the fish of Nami. Puts this one in the bag. Frodan picking up the win of the round against Spencer.
Yeah, Frodan with those 3 Cannoners in the back. That is going to be so rough to go up against, especially when you already have Corki on deck. Probably going to be trading off the items from Senna onto Corki eventually. But, ooh, look at that Corki right there. Who is going to be picking it up? I don't know.
Such a high value unit, and it looked like multiple boards seem to have some kind of variant of Revel, Cannoneer.
Frodan does get it.
Yep, and that's one of them.
All right, Souless going to be going for Talon? Yep, Talon for the sword.
Not a lot of Talons. They made a change to Talon in the last patch that really increased his damage output at 3-star. I think maybe seeing if anyone would try to chase that, potentially at the center of an assassin or a guild build. But no one really intentionally vertically builds into guild. It's usually just if they happen to be splashed, if you have a bard and something else. And then assassins, while somewhat common early because they're some of the only units to be able to slash through that front line and get that backline access, haven't really been an overall comp since Olaf Assassin was a big thing.
And you'll probably see a Pike at the end game, but that's the only assassin that you'll really ever see there. And again, that's just because it goes so well with the rest of the Whisper build. Got a set here with a Static Shiv and some crit, and then we got the ZZ Rattle on our
I'm glad you're in the ZZ Rock camp.
Yeah, I like the ZZ. Only because it sounds like ZZ Top, so I'm a fan of it.
Let's go. We ZZ Rot fans in this house, but no longer on the board right now, been popped. The little void, what was it? The void spawn?
Yes.
Void spawn.
Yeah, void
I want to
spawn.
call him a voidling, but the voidlings are what Mal produces. So a different part of the void right now, accompanying the rest of the team for a round victory.
Honestly.
Prestivent is rapidly tearing through that thing.
Yeah, but still, you know, considering if they didn't have this, they would be down 26 HP, so they would be around the middle of the board, a little bit below. And poor Spencer, my God, 28 HP, going for the Astro build.
Wow.
Aw, although with two-star alloys and
the
okay.
Astral Varus.
But that's also because they're going for the augment. You can see right there. So I rarely ever see anyone go for this. Well, I don't even remember what it's called, but if you have 2 of the same 2 stars on the deck, you get a big bonus. But clearly that is not working out for them. And an interesting little twitch, you know, why not?
Yeah, throw that in for some swift shot action to give this Varus a little more power. Even has 2 of the Varuses on the board just for that. So some casters will joke about it. Maybe we'll see the 3-star Varus come through because it hasn't really been a popular comp, but it is kind of one of those ones. If the stars align and you get that tanky front line, and you get that Alawi online as well, really use Astral. And here, getting Astral early at 28 HP, the first win after some time. Are you finally online, though, enough to continue? That is the question.
And they're 3 turns away from grabbing that. I would honestly just, after Wolves, just refresh and try and grab that second tier Silas. Or I'm sorry, whatever. I don't even see. I play him so little that I don't even know what the swift shot is called. Atlas?
Oh, the Varus.
Oh, the Varus. Yeah, there we go.
Or Varus. There's also variant. I'm gonna get all the different pronunciations everyone loves to do to keep things tricky. I'm a Varus girl, but yeah, he's just not really utilized all that often. Sometimes he'll be an item holder too if you're going into the Zaya later on. Zaya being a strong comp at one point in time. But it looks like because he keeps continuing to pull the Astrals that he wants
There's
to come
one.
here.
Let's get the 2. Yep, he's just going to be rolling for it. I don't blame him. And I do see, there we go. And he can even, okay, I was going to say he can upgrade the Nami, but never mind. He could have grabbed a 3-star there. Why didn't he grab the 3-star Nami?
Woo, lad.
He wants to do that 2-star.
That is...
I think just the econ right now, because he's so... This is the unfortunate thing about being on such a heavy loss streak before, because even though you do have all those Astrals coming into your shop, you need the gold to be able to spend on them, and Varus is a higher cost unit at that 3 cost, and having to spend so much just to get the 2 stars, it's kind of a difficult, really pressured place to be, because even here, look how close this is.
Oh man, he just found an interesting augment. It was like, yeah, let's build into this. Let's see what happens. And that was the last that he spoke of it. Taking some.
It feels like a pocket strat. Like things haven't been going well. I'm just gonna give this a shot.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna expect.
But that was like his first augment. That was his first augment.
Those augments are so tricky though, because sometimes you'll see people use them early, but then you eventually have to come into some kind of comp, right? So at what point then do you disregard the early benefits that augment gave you in favor of advancing the comp further? And you're kind of seeing that push off point where, yeah, but other people are really starting to get their units much more online, and you lose some of that benefit.
Ooh, is Frodan going to be going for the Revel augment right there on deck? He does only have 2 Revels, but obviously... Oh, no, and he takes them off the board. Never mind, just kidding. I spoke too soon. He's actually going to be trading off. Not going to be going for the Ancient Archives or the Pandoras, and I don't think anyone would be going for Pandoras, but... Ooh, Second Wind and Thrill of the Hunt. Pretty great right there. Going to be ignoring the Dragon Horde and actually putting Sona and... Oh, God. So many character names in this game.
There are all the characters, So he's got the... Waiting for his board to come back up. Yeah, he's got the Jinx in there. There we go. Yeah, I was like, they went away from the board. I needed them to come back.
Whoa.
But there she was in the back. So she offers that 3-level Cannoneer as well as that Revel. That is one reason that she synergizes so well with the Quirky carry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know how I won this fight. Probably because he
Frodan,
played
finally.
I don't know how I won this fight, he says. I mean, that's one of the great things I love about TFT. You can say all you want off of a board, and then you look at it smash into another, and sometimes you think, I'm not sure how that ended up going in my favor, but it did. He was facing off of Prestivent, rather, who has been on a bit of a decline over the recent rounds.
Oh, and he just doubled. He just got 2 more jinxes. That was great.
Yep.
If he sees a Shyvana, game over.
Yeah. Ooh, and look at that chunky boy Nomsy there.
Ooh,
and Souless and the Siphon got some great tankiness, great damage, great AoE. That is going to be a tough comp to beat there. Poor Spencer, 4 HP left, so far ahead of the rest of the competition. And it looks like it's going to be Kiyoon versus Frodan now. Corky not grabbing the best positioning here, but still going to be fine.
And Frodan streaking strong, the only one doing so in the lobby at this point in time. 80 HP before going into this carousel. And Kiyoon, again, not varying too much from his strategy from the last time we checked in with him.
Ooh. Good burst there.
Yeah, that was a hard fought win.
Whereas able to blast. They took down the Alawi, and then once the Alawi was down, this line became so much more vulnerable from Frodan in the back, but they got enough burst upon the return, so he can still survive strong. Souless now just entering a streak of his own at 98 HP. 1 out, Spencer ended up falling in that round. So before 4-4, getting that 8th place.
And that's just like when you stick to an augment and you say, no, this is what I have to build. I'm going to be going this. And it just did not work out for them. Yeah, Souless, one of our top competitors right now, having a great job. Frodan, who was at the bottom of the board, now finally having the game that he needed going into game number 3. And, ooh, the double Zeeks coming out. Is he going to be trying to stack them up? So, nope. Instead, he's just going to have whatever little statues on the side of it.
That is a little tricky when you want to give him the statue buff, but you also want the Zeeks buff on those on the sides of you, because then you are going to have to make some kind of sacrifice, but positioning the best that you can with that so that you can grant that 30% attack speed to your dragon as well.
If I'm not mistaken, we just saw a 9 Jade on one of the players there, and we do have Souless with a Siphon, but it looks like he's not going to be picking up the second Siphon, possibly just waiting for this round to be over before he picks it up, because a 2-star Siphon at 4-5 or 4-6 is going to be pretty dang good. And my goodness, speaking of pretty dang good, Souless just blowing Milk off the board right now. And with that Soraka as well, this is just going to be so rough.
Milk's board getting boiled a bit here, and losing a decent amount of HP to brought down to 31. There is quite a divide in the top 4 and bottom 4 right now in that lobby. 69 jumping down to 31 between Prestivent and Milk. So a lot of ground to cover for those below.
Got the 9 Jade. Going to be selling off for the rest of his board right now, and possibly throwing a Talon in there. Interesting. I don't think that really converts very well, but going to be ignoring the Gnar. Who wants a 3-star Gnar? No one ever goes for the 3-star Gnar.
Nope, not quite. I feel like maybe there was some playing around with it at some point in time, but really just kind of used for the lockdown and not necessarily the most reliable, it seems. Tanks there in the front. There are just other units that you want to spend the gold on. Sometimes you'll catch people that get caught in that. I'm rolling into a lot of Gnar. Do I end up building the Gnar? But then just want to use that gold elsewhere.
Ooh, that Archangel Soraka just healing up the board right there. But when you have a Tark with so many tanky items, and you obviously have the Shioyu, this is going to be so rough for Kiyoon right here. Soul is just, again, dominating the rest of the competition right now. And it looks like it is going to be Souless's game. Kiyoon is going to take a ton of damage right here. Oh, man, 16 down to 16 HP.
Oh, what a hit to have just received. And yeah, we're at 4-7. We're at the Treasure Dragon right now. So after this, so much more damage to be coming at you and your tactician if you're not careful.
Ooh, the loaded dice, though. Is he going to be putting that onto Soraka, trying to grab it, especially going to level 9 now? I can imagine that he's going to be throwing that onto the Soraka, hopefully going to grab that 2-star. But instead, just going to be buying up the board right now. I'm going to be looking for those 5-star items and grabbing a Bard, a pretty good, obviously a great unit right there. Ooh, and he's going to be going for the Bard too. Okay, never mind. Who cares about Soraka? Go for Bard 2. Bard 2!
Let's go! Bard coming in. That also means, so he has Mystic right now, which is just going to offer some more of that durability against the magic damage of the opposition. He's got the Dragon Mancer in as well. So Yasuo, a little bigger, hits a little bit harder. I'm excited to see what the changes in Kiyoon's board have done going into the next round.
And the absolute patience and like willpower to not go for Shyvana when you already have 2 Shyvanas there. I truly, and you have the loaded dice, right? I really do appreciate that. And it looks like he is going to be trying to go for Xiaoyu too. Grabs 2 more Anivas, or Anivia?
Anivia.
Thank you, Anivia. Oh, God.
I
Fake
got
fan. I'm a fake fan.
No, the funny thing about, which I feel like this is a lot of people watching and playing TFT, is I find that a lot of TFT players have different pronunciations because we're all just looking at the names at the bottom.
Right, yeah.
It's a fun place to be, but I read the lore book. I got you on the... I admittedly don't know Anivia lore, though. I don't.
Ooh, who is it gonna be? Which Xiaoyu's better? The Xiaoyu with the Titan's Blade or the Xiaoyu with the Rage Blade? And it looks like Rage Blade is gonna be winning out right here.
Getting it done. Look at all that green across the board with all this Jade play, Kiyoon.
Rank 2 Xiaoyu.
Let's go.
Sell the Anivias or sell someone. Yeah,
Who needs that bird?
Now, who needs the Yasuo when you're going to be going for 9 Jade now and the 2-star Anivia?
Let's see it. So Bird's Wing slapping a little harder to get those zones out. A Bard 2 achieved a bit ago just means that he's going to, if he manages to survive, find more and more of those units he's looking for. Milk is the one in the scariest position right now. 5 HP.
You got Volibear, you have a pretty stacked Corki, you have a great position on Sona right now, and of course you have the Idis up in the front. You know, this is a great game for him, but it looks like he's going to be fighting the ghost of... oh, no, never mind. I just couldn't see Kiyoon. Kiyoon there, though, in a pretty great position as well. The Xiaoyu is just too much for him, and Milk is going to be going down in 7th place.
Milk falling to the wayside here in lobby number 3. So unfortunately, linking together some bottom 4 finishes, and we'll have a steeper mountain to climb in the future. Really went hard on that Shimmer Scale, and there were some buffs to some of the Shimmer Scale items on 12.15. And it continues to be an early game composition upon which rely. Sometimes if you're running Xayah, you like to bring it in there too. In most cases, if you do have it, it's just because you have Idis in who already has that synergy available. But in this case, really wanted to lean on it. Wasn't working out. Now we're back to where everyone in here, a couple of them running Jade, including Souless.
Top 2 players right now going up against each other, and although Siphon does have the Titan's Resolve and the Assassin emblem on him, is that going to be enough to take down the Anivia? And it looks like it is, in fact, going to be that. Obviously, getting the crit as well is just going to be so much. What are you going to be doing? Sorry, Braum, but you're out of here. And Anivia, you might be a pretty bird, but you are going to be going down into the coop.
Into the coop. What a punishment. Back into the egg. So right now, nobody ends up getting eliminated, though, because there was such a breaking point between some of those HP levels of these very healthy at the top. 2 streaking with Prestivent and Soju, but Soju down at 37. Prestivent and Souless, I think, feeling pretty good about being able to get their top 4 here just based off of their early game prowess and, you know, using things like Tiny Titans.
I think Prestivent also knew that he was going to be in for a rough mid game, and you know that extra HP gave him a lot of cushion to be able to sort of manage the economy and not get stressed out. And he's back up in a win push. And I think when you're building, especially I think what he's running right now, which the last we checked it was cannons, is you need that little bit of leniency.
Oh yeah, definitely agree. Ooh.
The mid's not nice in your transition from 6.
I'm loving the orange with Morello there. Obviously, you can hit a ton of units with his ability if it's positioned correctly. So excited to see how this works. And the double, what is that? Double Nico? All right, I like it.
So good.
Throwing them both in there. So some more addition to that front line. The Ornhorn blasting on through, though. This is where we're looking at those Sonas being picked up earlier.
Huh?
Seeing how strong that she can hold.
Oh, I think my garbage is gone.
All right,
So-
Siphon.
Soju.
Oh, but Siphon doesn't have the Bloodthirster on it, a pretty common item for the Siphon, and that is why he's going to be going down.
Cannot quite live through with some of that vamping, so eventually falls. And Soju on a 7 streak right now, still holding on at 39. Whew. Streak previously broken by Prestivent, but because of the previous loss by Souless, manages to still hold on now to that #1 spot in the lobby. Kiyoon, last we checked in with him, was so strong with those 9 Jade and continuing to streak as well.
Would be nice as well.
Is that a Mage Ocean? Oh my god, I'm so happy.
Like, is that what I would like to see?
That is exactly what I like to see. And of course, with the Silas Mage and the Heimerdinger going for that nice little Namzi, and you got the Zoe on deck as well. This is it. Let's just wait for it, everyone. How much damage with the Archangels is this going to be doing? Oh, I'm sorry. Aoshin. Oh my god, please. They're so young, actually.
With the double cast, all the cast, endless shooting of the shots.
Zoe casts.
Is it actually enough? Oh wow, Zoe with the mage or the spell thief there, actually grabbing a tanky character just in time, but it looks like it's still not going to be enough. And unfortunately,
they got a kill.
Oh
no.
Yo going to be doing whatever he does there to take down the competition. And I love you, Soraka. You're so pretty, but you just don't do enough.
No. Once our team's gone, oh, I'm so vulnerable.
Okay, Lulu too.
Whatever do I do?
Just, like, put
I
this
love
here,
Aoshin
like,
so
stop
much.
giving the Chalice buff to Namzi.
Yeah,
Namzi's not
just
even really getting
feels like the
it.
ult never ends when you have that mage cap.
So maybe the AP goes here.
Wait,
and I just,
Kelly's
like,
a fan.
Oh, what? I'm going to say this 1,000 more times, Chad. I'm sorry.
Aoshin and A-Soul fandom galore here on the cast.
Especially with the double chalice. Oh my goodness. And they're gonna be able to throw the that tanky item onto Lulu as well to get both the Aoshin a little bit of tankiness that he needs. Oh no, speaking of Aoshins, he takes it away. Sell it. Sell it. I want to see rank 2. Ooh, and he does sell it because we got Soraka there. Ooh, look at that Soraka with 2 Archangels. My goodness.
Yeah, and even making sure that if she does start to fall early, you have that edge of night to make sure that she can stealth and keep alive to keep up that healing on the rest of the team. This board is looking scary, but Frodan wants to bounce back. 5 loss streak right now, 9 HP, just on the outskirts of the top of the lobby by quite a bit, though.
And Lulu is going to have that Banshee's Claw to protect Zoe and Aoshin there. And Aoshin just blowing up the damage. Let's go for round 2. But it looks like it's just not going to be enough again against the Shioyu there. When you have that lifesteal, especially the double lifesteal items, it is just GG for Frodan.
The Jade, such a problem. The healing, the attack, and yes, the itemization, the durability on Kiyoo's comp is so uncontested. And Frodan feeling so good about that game, feeling like this could be the comeback one, but instead getting 6th place.
You could tell that he was feeling that he was on track for at least a top 3 there. And it just went dark. It's unfortunate for him. He's had a rough day today. But, you know, it's fun to watch a caster get in on this. I mean, you said he's got an event coming up. There's no better way to get familiar with the guys you're covering in the next event by getting your butt kicked.
That's true.
Exactly. Yep,
I've been there.
Got his casting coming up. I had a pleasure of casting with him some of the early TFT sets back in the day, and he's been grinding it ever since on every angle, podcast, and everything to support the scene while also working as a community manager for Twitch Rivals. So dude's definitely doing a lot.
These Sona ults doing so well right here. And of course, when you have that Shioyu up in the front, you know, I thought Deja was going to be so prioritized in this competition, but it seems like it's actually going to be Xiaoyu.
Much more of that love for the Jades in this particular tournament. And every tournament always does kind of come through with its own identity, the direction in which everyone is leaning. And yes, Jade did receive a small nerf, and it might be felt a little bit, yes, on that front line of Xiaoyu and Nico, but not really. This is still such a comfort comp for so many that has early game units to get you to those late games.
Does this mean I'm fighting
Ooh, Shroud, how well is that going to be placed? Obviously, players are going to be moving around their units on the board, but I guess we're going to find out. Soraka, again, with the double arcs in the back. Gets actually, whoa, wait, did that Soraka get pulled? Okay, no, that was a different game that I was looking at right there. And let's see the heal, Soraka. Is it going to be enough? No, one of the units gets knocked out, and it looks like potentially Nico going to be knocked out as well, and that's true. The enemy Xiaoyu is slowly being dwindled down. I don't care about your lifesteal when we have so much tankiness, but Jade still holding strong. Soraka still doing whatever she can, but again, that freeze from the Bard, that is going to be it.
Yeah, Soju hitting strong. 6 Jade.
I thought actually for a second Soraka was going to hold out, but no.
Yeah. Even with those 2 Bard casts during that rounds, but hitting the back line, still so much heal, too much distance for anyone to output the damage to capitalize upon that. So, oh my goodness, the Jades are definitely the talk of this lobby.
Oh yeah. Players going for Banshees, Zeeks, trying to grab, those multi-unit items that can just buff your back line. Buff your front line, depending on where you're placing it, I guess. Ooh, gonna be going for the Talon, potentially a Star 2 Talon. Grabbing a lot of Assassins right now, probably gonna be trading out... Oh, just kidding. Just gonna be trading out the Tempest? No, not gonna be trading out the Tempest. Gonna be trading out one of the pikes that they have on the board.
Yeah, so this adaptation from Prestivent, you look at the comps that are running the lobby right now, and they have this backline that's just healing all the way through, can't quite get reached. And here with the Morellos on the orange, so you can try and cut into some of that healing because of the wide breadth with which his ult can travel across, and hoping to get to the back as soon as possible, especially with that change of assassin not that long ago to get there sooner. Can he capitalize? Right now are the targets, right? You see one zooming all across the back.
Oh, man, that Shyvana assassin is so good.
Shyvana assassin is so much fun and such a nice use in this particular lobby.
I mean, she already has great AoE to knock up everyone, but when you throw her into the backline so that you make sure she grabs all those important damage dealing characters, it is just one and done.
Look at the similarities on both sides right now. 6 Jade into a 9 Jade, and
Soju down to 1 HP. That always makes me, I get so sweaty. I get so sweaty when I see that.
And Robin also just got knocked out, just barely. So that's a 5th place finish for Robin. Top 4 right now, barely squeaking in with that exact 1 HP for Soju. And everybody else, though, is healthy above 30 HP. They have at least 2 more rounds, basically, that they can take depending on the damage in those, whereas Soju can't afford to lose any.
Again, the Corki with 2 great items that can buff the rest of your team. Going to be underutilized because you need to place your units around that Jade statue. This is it. Soju versus Souless right now. So much HP separating them. But with the Sona and the Corki, they do have a lot of potential damage here. But the dodge comes out. Oh, no.
Oh, the burst getting so good for a moment's time, but the survivability of the strongest units of Soju is all that he needs for a moment. No, he gets knocked out. So those 2 kind of bumps of burst are basically what happened. If he was able to collapse before that last bump, it would have been enough, but unfortunately not.
You want to know why?
Why is that? Oh, who is it? Who is it?
It's Ocean.
Because Aoshin.
Just too strong. But an admirable effort from Soju, especially with the multiple Jade contests in this lobby. Lots of Xiaoyu love. And now we're tracking along with Souless, who has went towards... Who was it, Kelly?
Huh?
Who is it?
Ocean. Ocean? Is that it?
Yes. Yes. The talk of the town, the prom king of the dragons of this tournament.
Oh, I love that. Ooh, finally getting that Silas too on deck here. And we got opportunities as well for Nico if he wants to be going that, but instead going to be ignoring it and going to be selling those Nikos. Let's see, where are you going to go?
Yeah, at this point, you don't have any gold. The only things on the board worth leveling you cannot spend for ends up taking one out so he can put this bard in, and you always wait to put those items because it's the thing that you can continue to do into combat. So facing off against Prestivent here, who is making some great adaptations into these sustain comps.
Oh no, Aoshin going to be knocked up by the Shyvana. Shyvana has a great position here. My goodness. And
Prestivent.
It. Oof.
Just such a good read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, take that. Let's go, Shyvana.
Especially with the yeah, just it's insane. I've never like seen that personally. Oh my gosh. Aoshin doing so much speed there. My goodness.
7 HP now for Kiyoon. So starting to get some slicing through, but right now it just feels like the way that Souless and Kiyoon want to play. Prestivent has come up with the answer towards it. You look at this backline from Kiyoon that can be so squishy, that Soraka that's extremely vulnerable, and once you take her out, the rest of the team, their survivability is so much lower, but we'll see how Kiyoon can fare in the next matchup here against Prestivent is where it should be, according to the icon indicator.
Kiyoon actually trading out Anivia for that star to Sona, and not the best positioning right here now, going up against Assassins where they can't really get all clumped up like what you want for Sona. Now let's see it, Soraka. You're getting attacked right now by 2 Assassins. This is not where you want to be. Let the heals come out though, and there you have it. The Star Caller calling down the stars, but just not enough.
But they took out the Shyvana.
Ooh.
The bard's too strong.
Oh, look at everyone watching on the board as well. One more to go. Slice on down. Prestivent eliminated. Prestivent was looking poised to win the lobby with that Assassin Shyvana getting to the back line, but the surrounding of the units, creating a space for that Soraka to stay safe, worked out so well.
Yeah, Prestivent seeing that Soraka saying, me too, I want Soraka as well. Looking for that star 2 Nico as well, and unfortunately not going to be getting it, possibly going to be selling this other Nico or this other Soraka, and yep, unfortunately not able to grab that Nico, which you need so much with such a tanky back line, but not much in your front line.
All right, Souless and Kiyoon. Showdown. Kiyoon only at 10 HP, has to be able to survive through this. You see the NATOs from going to set this up.
Wow.
Wow.
Those are really good bard ults.
And there we have it. Prestivent going to be taken out. And it looks like it just comes down to this. Kiyoon versus Souless. Once again, our top 2, not too much of a surprise, having a great performance as well. And there you have it, a Keck W coming out of Souless.
Coming through with the victory in the end, one of those rounds that has 3 remaining.